And we are back. Time now for the MMA After Hour. Yes, exclusively on Twitter. live.twitter.com/MMA Fighting. This is it. Plastic cell. Look at it. Look how beautiful it is. Oh my God. Look at this thing. Can't wait to open it. I'm going to do it with New York Rick. I think he should be here because I think he helped get this done. So let's go to everyone's favorite segment. Time now, my friends.
Time to open up your
Rick's
ears
Picks.
and your
Here we go.
minds, MMA fans. It's time for Rick's Picks.
Got my body armor here.
Rick's Picks are lots of fun.
Yeah. What a show. 13 guests?
Is
that a record?
Rick's Picks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment you've all
Can't
been
stop,
waiting
won't
for.
stop.
It's the new craze taking the world by storm. Live from the Vox Studios in beautiful New York City, it's time for Rick's Picks.
Yeah, here we go. Rick's Picks in the house. How are you, Mr. Rick's Picks? How are you, Mr. New York Rick?
I'm doing great. How about you?
What a show.
Great
I feel
show.
like I just ran a marathon, but I can keep going, my friends. What else we got?
I mean, maybe
Anyone
we got
else
some
wanna
more
call in?
surprise guests. Yeah.
Cain Velasquez. You got to love it. What do we do about this? Can I open it?
It's my first Rick's pick, so let's just go that way.
Okay.
So we'll kick off Rick's
I've been
picks.
staring at it for almost...
Okay. Hold your horses. I heard how excited you're
there it
getting,
is.
but Instagram from Danny
Ooh,
Tran.
I like that little transition there. That was nice.
Nicely done,
yeah,
Austin.
Well done.
Instagram here from Danny Tran, aforementioned, right at the bottom of the show. You mentioned him. Him and his brother started Plastic Cell in 2012. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention them because last week I didn't do my appropriate shout out to Danny and his brother for making it happen. But they're actually the ones who created Plastic Cell, the mold for the figurine, and then they sculpt and hand paint every single one of these. So they're not mass produced. It is, you are getting, a hand sculpted and hand painted thing every time. So that one that you have on your desk was made by the two brothers at Plastic Cell. So shout out to Danny and his brother. It's absolutely incredible stuff. So
is this what
without
Christmas
further
morning
ado,
feels like?
I think it's time to
Who
open
designed
that
the
up.
box?
And shout out to Gian, who came over today.
The freaking guy.
Yeah.
Tell him what happened.
We had Gian in studio today. Dropped off some incredible art, as you've probably seen him doing work with Fightland and Reebok most recently. Excuse me. One of the true designers that people are clamoring for. He's sought after in the fight space. He did that incredible Romac.
Yeah, where's my
box.
Francis shirt? I don't know. Did you take it?
It's under the desk, Ariel. We can't just leave things just
Why?
sitting around. But he did the Francis Ngannou walkout shirt, actually.
Yeah.
That might have been the most recent post
220.
you see him. But he did the box design for that. So two great artists coming together.
I love your voice, but let's speed this up. I gotta open this. All right, here we go. We're opening it. Here it is, Romac box. I just can't wait to touch it. You know what I mean? It's just.
Oh my God.
Look at, I'm opening it up right here. Could you get a good shot? Let's go on camera. There it is. I'm opening it up. There's the box. There's nothing. Oh, it says Plastic Cell right there on the box. This is what they do, unbox therapy, right? This is what he does. This is what
Something
they do.
like that.
My kids watch these YouTube videos that have 64 million views of people opening up Kinder Surprises. Have you seen these videos?
I'm not there yet. My daughter's too young.
It's madness. So hopefully this one gets at least 10 views. So here we go. The box. Here it is.
Do I even want to know what a Kinder Surprise is? Probably
You know
not.
what a
Not
Kinder
yet.
Surprise is? Chocolate eggs with the little toys.
Okay, sure.
What's wrong with you?
There's a thing to opening chocolate eggs?
Yes. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. This is Okay, here it is. I'm taking it out of the box. There's some confetti thingies. Wow. This is
Packing peanuts for those.
This is
following along.
unbelievable. Wow. I am blown away. I am absolutely blown away. The actual detail on this thing, the blood. Can you see it? Can you see that? Wow. I actually feel lightheaded right now. And it's not because I've been talking for almost 5 hours. It's unbelievable. It's like it's real blood on his face. The cuts. What is this? There's
all done by hand.
Oh, there's a Joe Rogan one too. Did you know that?
Yeah, they've got a few in the fight space. Big fight fans. Lots in the horror space.
Plastic Cell, hand-painted sculpture. This was hand-painted.
Yeah, and handcrafted, all the clay put on.
What an honor for Rory McDonald, eh? To get this.
I mean, that's and that moment it is truly one of a kind.
Look at that murderer's row right there. See that?
All Bellator.
That's true. With some UFC ties. Everyone has fought in the UFC except for Mr. Fyodor. Well, this is something. Well, thank you. Thank you to the guys over at Plastic Cell. Thank you to Gian. Am I saying that correctly, Gian?
Gian.
Thank you to Danny. Thank you to, I mean, this is an honor. This is one of the greatest things I've ever received. I appreciate it. I'm going to cherish it. And you can best believe I will not be keeping it here in the studio because those thieves in the office, not the ones who work on the show, other people like to come in like scavengers. I see your shows on SB Nation where you take my stuff. I see it loud and clear. You ain't taking this one. I'll tell you that much.
Or an in-studio guest walking off.
And that too. Yeah, where's my Tiffany Van Soos bobblehead? She said she was sending it to me. Someone probably stole it. Shipped it.
No. Stop. You know what? You're making it sound like a real terrible place to work with all these people stealing things. That's not the case.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We only work with the best of the best, and I'm sure it's in the mail, as they say.
Yeah. Okay.
Second Rick's pick. This from WWE's Twitter.
There it is.
I feel like we talked about it enough, but not enough at the same time.
Well, I could do a whole show on that.
We can't say enough about this moment, but we have.
I've kind of given my thoughts at this point. What are your thoughts? Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
What did you think?
I didn't watch it live, but I did go back and watch it.
Okay, the 5 minute. Crazy. I watched it live. You didn't.
I did not.
The tables have turned. So what do you think?
Well, there's a few things to unpack. One, I didn't believe for a second that she was not going to appear. They were overplaying. I've never heard a movie leaving to film a movie more publicized in my entire life than going to film the Smile 22 movie.
Yeah.
They could not have made it more obvious that this was going to happen. So I wasn't caught off guard when I saw the activity starting on Twitter. When I went back to watch it, it wasn't what I expected. Ronda seemed a little bit happy-go-lucky, and I don't blame her. This seems to be something she wanted for a long time. But it kind of ruins the badassery of it. With her being so smiley and so happy-go-lucky. It doesn't make. I don't think it has the intended effect. But I think athletically, you can't help but be excited about this. There's no doubt in my mind that she's going to have the tools to excel as an athlete when it comes to professional wrestling. But we'll see how the acting comes along, which is a crucial part of it. Although, Brock is not exactly known for his performances. He has somebody like Paul Heyman to help him along with that. Ultimately, I mean, it made huge waves. I think that's the intention.
Yeah.
And I think she will definitely take it seriously, get herself in the best possible wrestling shape she can. And,
are you interested?
I'm definitely interested.
Are you going to watch?
Not any more than I would typically. It's not going to be something that
you watch WrestleMania. Yeah,
but I would have watched that anyway. You know what I mean? The pay-per-views or whatever thing she'll be on, I will probably have been watching anyway. I would have watched the big ones. What is it? SummerSlam and WrestleMania. I probably would have watched those anyway, but I'll definitely be more interested now that Ronda Rousey's involved. I don't know.
I'm worried. I'm excited for her. I think it's cool, great. It's good to have her back. It's good to have her back in any capacity. Of course, as MMA fans, I'd love to have her back in the UFC, right? I think the UFC would love to have her back. I'm just worried about the way they're going to go. They're going to go with Stephanie McMahon. I don't know about that. They're gonna have her. You mentioned happy-go-lucky. Yes, that's a good way to describe her demeanor. Here's the thing: you should have been happy-go-lucky when no one was in the arena. Do the walk, get it out of your system. But you're not. It was weird. It was at first she's Ronda showing up as a fan because we've seen that look on her face when she's been a fan, and then she looked like Ronda playing pro wrestler, and then she tried to put the mean face, and then the pointing. I've never seen pointing look so forced. First of all, why do you have to point? We know, just look up. You don't have to point. We know what you're talking about. Look
but
up,
isn't
camera
that
shot.
The thing?
Enough with the pointing. Enough with it.
I don't know if that's specific to her. They're all doing the kind of
it's crazy
point thing.
Why do you have to point? It's here's I don't know, James Harden, and he plays against the Warriors, pointing to the rafters where the NBA championship banners hang. Like, oh, come on, we know what you want. We know what you're here for. Just show up, shake some hands, and walk out. That's all we need.
Yeah. I'm okay with the pointing, but the vibes felt off to me.
It was a forced point.
The vibe wasn't right for what this was supposed. If you're not going to speak, you have to be kind of like imposing. That's kind of the point. You have to, make your presence feel larger than that. And it was too light. It felt light,
Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, look, what a win for WWE.
Of course.
You get all this coverage on ESPN. You get the sit-down interview. You get the breaking news Sports Center. It was big. By the way, I noticed, did you see that?
Ramona.
Yes, I spotted her sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
Can't get it by me.
Tip of the hat.
Can't get it by me. But yeah, big news. We'll see what happens. Interesting.
It couldn't be. I don't think there's any way that it goes wrong, because I think as long as this is not somebody who will go by the wayside. So the investment in her, I imagine, will be big, and typically when that happens, you can at least guarantee some level of success. If you have the company's support, I feel like there's a level of success that's kind of baseline.
I just think that poll that we can get to later, but the poll, I mean, I read the results. I don't sense, sometimes I feel like the fans will get behind, like, again, if Conor showed up at WWE, I think people might lose their minds. And I do think that people would say, like, oh, you turned back because his situation's a little weird right now too, right? If Khabib showed up, right, people would be like, okay, this is fun. But I got a lot of people saying, I don't care about this. She turned her back. I don't want to hear about it. And no one feels more, like no one gets their panties in a bunch more than MMA fans when you talk about pro wrestling. Like they take it so personally, like, oh my God, I'm going to unfollow you. And I'm going to, like, come on, relax. There is a connection, get over it. But they just take it so personally. They get so upset, so all up in arms. Ooh, pro wrestling, how dare you? It's like they're insulting their moms. Relax. It's a story. We're covering it. It's crazy not to cover it. Of course, we're not going to cover every single step of the way, but I think right now it's a story worth following, and we'll see what happens. I think overall WWE has to think it's a success because it was covered the way it was. But now comes the real work. Now let's see actually how she performs.
Yeah. I thought this was cool to continue on this. This is the only other thing from this moment.
Yeah, this was cool.
Travis Brown.
Yeah.
Sitting in the living room with his boys, and we hear her music hit. He's reacting. Can we get the audio up on that?
What? Wait, Ronda, what?
Do you think they really didn't know?
I mean, they're acting like they didn't know, and he
no.
in the post is saying that he hid it from them. So
Pretty awesome.
Genuine moment there.
Yeah. Travis
Gotta
come
be
out?
proud.
You think Travis debuts?
No, I don't. Speaking of fake.
Whoa.
Speaking of fake fighting, Rampage posting to his Instagram a run-in with Rashad Evans. I'll read the caption. Of all the places I see Sugar Rashad Evans' sweet ass on my vacation in the same effing club, I better not see him when I leave this B word.
Yeah, this was. But it does lead us to talk about Rashad Evans. I reported on Saturday, there is a fight on the table for Michael Bisping. There is a fight on the table for Michael Bisping on March 17th in London, a retirement fight. He talked last week on his show about weighing an option, that there's some people telling him say goodbye, some people telling him, take the fight. And it's Rashad Evans. And so how do we feel about this? Rematch of UFC 78 validation. In fact, the first pay-per-view I ever attended. Newark,
I like
New
that
Jersey.
fight.
You like it?
I like that fight, yeah.
Why?
Both in the right place in their career,
Yeah.
I feel like. Don't want to see another Bisping Gastelum-esque matchup. I like Rashad and Bisping there. And you can sell the rematch story. No issue with it. I think there's quite a few options, but this is one I would definitely be okay with.
Too soon.
Too soon?
Too soon. Too soon.
How much longer are we
Fought
going to
twice in November. What do you mean? Do it in July. Does it
Oh,
have
you're
to
talking about the timing of the fight is too soon, not that fight specifically would happen too soon.
Yes, I understand why the UFC wants it because they don't have a main event for this card. It's January 29th. And by the way, we're going to find out soon because, the tickets go on sale this week. So I would imagine they'd have to have something. Although they have announced, gone on sale with tickets without main events as recently as St. Louis and Orlando. So that's not out of the ordinary, but I just feel like it's too soon for Mike.
That's fair enough.
I don't hate the matchup. It's fine.
The matchup is what I'm kind of focused on.
Why can't he have his moment in London, wave to the crowd, play the music, walk to the cage, thank you for all the support. I want to tell you guys that I got one fight left in me. I'll be back. I hope you'll be there to support me. If not, I hope you'll watch it. Like, address the crowd, have your moment, but don't fight just yet.
And do it the next trip there?
Next trip, do it Vegas, do it, I don't know where.
Can't do it in Vegas. You have to do it there.
You don't. You don't.
do.
You don't. Worry about your health. Guess what? In 10, 15 years, your brain doesn't care if you had your last fight in London or Vegas or anywhere else. Take a break.
It means something.
No. I get it. It means something. But they're going to come back if you want to wait.
That's what I'm saying. Wait till they come back. You have to do it there, though.
Too soon.
You can't tell that crowd, hey, thanks for all the support, guys. I'm going to go fight now in Vegas. You're not going to see it.
They do it all the time. They do it all the time in pro wrestling. They do it all the time. Like what's his name? Who came on the mic? It was UFC 219 and said, "Who wants to see me fight in Perth?"
And that one over like a.
That was the weirdest because it's like, why are you asking these people if they want to see you in Perth?
Yeah, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You cannot address the crowd and not do the fight.
Just say thank you for everything. Let him have his moment.
Yeah, you can have that moment, but then when you do that fight, it has to be back there.
All right. I just feel like it's a bit too soon.
That's fair enough. That I don't
mind the matchup. I just feel like the actual timing is too soon.
Fair. Okay, we move to the world of basketball.
Oh, what's this?
A lot of social media activity.
Oh, I didn't see this.
The Charlotte Hornets here. We see Michael Carter Williams,
friend of the show,
guest of the show.
Yes.
Last year.
I have no idea what he's saying.
Doing a challenge where Derek Brunson is whispering, and Michael Carter Williams has to figure out what he's saying.
This is the most bizarre challenge I've ever seen.
It must be something they do because they also did one with Dwight Howard and Derek Brunson. I only picked this one specifically because our boy Michael Carter Williams involved, Derek Brunson involved. I like the NBA MMA thing. In fact, we're going to continue this here.
Okay.
We're going to go to our next one.
Yes.
Which is Dwight Howard, post-game interview.
I'm going to knock you out when I see you.
Dwight Howard telling Tyron Woodley that he's going to knock him out when he sees him. I love that they prompted him with this question.
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley. And he sold it. You know what? I like Dwight Howard.
Dwight knows his MMA. I've seen him at a bunch of UFC events.
Yeah. Even when he was with the Rockets, I remember he was always into the MMA stuff. Okay.
You know what the fight is?
Wait.
Dwight Howard versus Derek Lewis. Remember Derek Lewis on the show, called him soft and everything? That's the fight.
Come on.
I mean, what is he probably? He's probably like 6'10", 265 or something.
Dwight's got to be a legit 7 foot.
Yeah. Oh, really? You think?
Yeah.
I think he was always kind of, I'll check it out. But you never know with those heights in the NBA.
Okay, more from the NBA.
Oh.
This one we're just going to throw up. It's a longer clip, but we have Tyron Woodley courtside with the Atlanta Hawks.
No. He's with the Hornets. 6'11" it says for Dwight.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then
Hawks
he's going to call out. He's going to call out the Hawks mascot in this one. But this one's too long. I'm just calling this.
Look at Tyron selling the fights, huh?
I'm more interested if he had called out Dwight Howard though. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
If Dwight's going to call you out.
Oh, he picked Derek Brunson.
That's okay. We can't be perfect on all of them.
All right.
So we see the Hawks hit a nice 3. Okay. I like all this NBA MMA. This is our last one involved with that.
Okay. You mentioned Eric Koch too.
Here we go. We got the fan cam.
Oh, wow.
And his Wonder Boy sitting next to Chris Weidman dancing. Look at this. Look at the moves.
Wow, Wonder Boy.
Well done, Wonder Boy.
Getting down with
Although they could use some more fans in the arena,
Yes,
that's for sure. They've got the section to themselves. But well done.
Yeah.
Charlotte really showing the UFC some love.
Yeah, look at Weidman. All shy.
Weidman enjoying it. Yeah, why isn't he up there?
Well done, Wonder Boy.
Yeah. And then this one from Shams sources. Oh, you know what? This one's not about MMA. How did this get here?
Is this a joke?
This one wasn't. You know what? I must have been scrolling through my Twitter.
That's hilarious. Shall we talk about Joakim Noah? They're parting ways. I'm excited about that. The Knicks. I mean, they paid him $72 million.
I apologize, but I also
Look at
don't
New York
apologize.
Rick sleeping at the wheel, throwing in basketball. Listen, I appreciate it. I don't know if you were trying to rub it in that they signed him to the bad deal.
I was.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's
very
great.
purposeful.
By the way, this is a great deal. I'm thrilled. If they actually get rid of him,
Was Noah not one of the guys though that like I felt like
Get
when
outta
they
here.
signed him? No. When they signed him, the contract was bad, clearly. But when they signed him, I thought like he's the type of player you want on a winning squad. And then it just like deteriorated from there.
yeah, I don't.
The contract was
I'm good.
bad.
I'm good, bro.
You're good with
Yeah.
Noah. It's over.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. It was great. I appreciate it. Love the hair. It's all good, bro. How about Steven Jensen tweeting, "Gotta love Travis Brown with a boneyard of beers. Cheer you for Ronda." With the kids. You gotta love it. You gotta
Look,
love
what
it.
better way to watch the Royal Rumble? Maybe you drink a beer per entrant.
Yeah.
What is it, 30? 30 per?
I mean, they're on the West
knocked down
Coast
30 of
also, so it was like that was like 7:30.
Listen, you got to get yourself lubricated for these things. Okay. We go back to the MMA world.
Okay.
Daniel Cormier posting to Twitter.
Boom.
Hashtag Dream Chaser. We see him screaming here in the back. Hashtag Dream Chaser. Hashtag UFC 226. Hashtag 2-8 champ. Hashtag legend. Hashtag gangsta shit. Hashtag, oh no, not hashtag. Finally, let's go.
Gangsta shit is the funniest one.
Yeah. Gangsta shit for DC.
Tuh.
I'm feeling it.
Not tur. The one thing, I mean, I love the fight. I think they made the right call.
Yeah.
As he said, no clear-cut contenders. Yeah, we could pull anyone. There's always going to be someone, but they need a fight like this. It's exciting. It's never been done with the big boys. You get the tough coaches. They'll be entertaining, although the tough thing is kind of gravy to me.
I don't love the tough. I mean,
Listen, it's gravy. Like,
however we get this is fine.
I would say that you lose momentum, but I don't even really watch tough anymore, so it's neither here nor there for me. It's the undefeated season, whatever it is. There's probably 2 more, and then we'll see what happens with the new TV deal. But the one thing I couldn't help but think about was like, what does John Jones think about all this? This was his fight. This was his destiny. This was the opportunity that he was going to get after beating Daniel Cormier. Now here's his rival in that spot. I mean, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine.
I think he's sleeping okay with it
You think so?
because
This is a shot
if he
when
comes
you're not even
back,
in the game.
if he comes back,
Yeah. Could you imagine DC wins?
It's his shot.
Oh my
it's
God.
still his shot.
Imagine DC wins and he fights John Jones, third fight, last fight in the heavyweight division.
As long as John Jones can mind his P's and Q's
Yeah.
and figure out a way to come back, I don't think he's lost much. I really don't, which is crazy to say because of how long he's been out, because of the circumstances of why he's been out, because of how he's tarnished what was due to be the best legacy in MMA. I really think he could come back and jump right into the same spot, similar to how he did.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he
Ahead
could
of
be
the
out for
last
3
fight.
more years.
Could be.
So it's hard to really gauge at this point. They seem confident that he won't get the book thrown at him. I just couldn't help
No.
but think about that.
Sure. This was him.
and-
This was supposed to be.
And how about this? I mean, you're a PR extraordinaire, right?
Sure.
You come out with news of this magnitude on a Friday night
Yeah.
on the FS1, I believe, weigh-ins, which let's
Yep.
be honest, there's no intrigue in those shows anymore because the weigh-ins happen in the morning.
Right. All the suspense.
Yeah,
is
we
gone.
know.
You do get the stare downs. That's what I've always said. You know, is the last look. Those matter
You're
to
going to
me.
be on Fox. Yes, it was a low rating, but it was still 1.5 or so.
Yeah.
Why don't you wait 24 hours to announce this?
I don't know.
Do
Maybe
a split screen interview? Makes no sense.
I agree with you completely. That would have been the time. That would have been the platform. Maybe there was something logistically going on behind the scenes where they had to get this out because of XYZ. That's the only thing I can think of in terms of determining when to do this. I don't understand why Friday was better than Saturday at the fight.
Oh.
I don't know. But
Friday night, that's like the classic Friday night dump.
you bury it. Yeah.
That's when you put out bad news. That's when you put out Brock Lesnar has failed a drug test. That's when you put out John Jones failed drug test. That's when you put out Anderson Silva. Like the USADA ones, they're classic for that. You don't put out the great news. You put that out on Saturday night when everyone's watching.
If there's you're being forced into it. That's the only thing I can say. But look, either way, they're filming this week. We get it, and I don't love having to wait for it because of filming the reality show. But
he's banged up anyway.
We'll get a good fight, and that's all that matters at the end of it. Okay. Interestingly, a guest of the show. Yep. I wasn't expecting to have him on, so we've asked him about it. But like always, Cain Velasquez saying, like always, I'm going to be in the gym every day to help my brother Daniel Cormier become the next heavyweight champ at UFC 226. Once he wins, things could get interesting. And new hashtag we are AKA hashtag going to get my belt back. But he's going to get his belt back.
Yeah.
But if Cormier has the belt, is he still going to get his belt back?
Cormier says he's going to retire. So like literally 1 year from now, 13 months from now, right?
Yeah, you could wait it out. You could figure out.
He gets a fight in July.
I don't know if that... He could also just, hand over the heavyweight belt.
That too. Here's the big story.
I vacate this belt.
Fair, but here's the story. Cain Velasquez didn't stand in his way. And you know what I mean? Like, and that's worth noting. And that's very commendable.
We've had situations that this has gotten close, where we've been close to this. The only concrete situation that I can remember where this played out in this specific fashion was Rashad Evans, John Jones, where that opportunity was given to John Jones, and it put him in shaky ground with Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
In this case, we saw how these two have handled it, and it is clear that they are teammates and they are not going to fight for this. At least at this point. You know, who knows what happens once the belt is in his hands, but I believe it. I believe that they will not fight each other for the belt. And for Daniel Cormier, I feel like he has options, that he doesn't need to impede Cain in that way. And for Cain, I feel like he wants to help Daniel get there, and knows that could be a limited amount of time. That could be something that, is no longer a roadblock once he's ready to come back. Who knows? But I believe them when they say they're not going to fight.
Me too.
Robert Whitaker posting to Instagram, not much here, but he does say pumped to get back to work. Hashtag we'll be back stronger than ever. We've heard a lot of things about, the condition that he's in.
Yeah.
Good to see him back.
Yes.
At least on Instagram.
Yeah.
Still not, revealing much.
Yeah.
But
hopefully once they have that fight, I mean, the fight is rapidly approaching. It's 2 weeks away. So hopefully we'll get some clarity either before or after the fight, what exactly they're fighting for.
But we have Robert Whitaker back in the gym. We also have returning Nate Diaz, at least to Instagram.
Yes.
Nate Diaz saying on Instagram, sick of sitting around waiting for you effers to do shit. There's no excitement in this fight shit. Step your games up. I'll see you around May or June. Sincerely, the real champ, middle finger.
Yeah.
We had tons of people react to it. Eddie Alvarez on this show.
Who does he fight? Now, who do you want to fight? What's your prediction?
Oof. He will fight Conor McGregor.
Yeah. I'd love to see the Eddie fight. I thought it was interesting. He posted all these pictures on Instagram. It was like, did you notice he posted 20 minutes and then another, and then it led up to this. I want to hear from Nate. And sure, I'm selfish and biased, and I'd love to hear him on this show, but I just want to hear enough of the tweets. What's going on? What are you thinking? What do you want? Let's talk.
Listen, when you're at the top of the game, all you need to do is hop on the Instagram. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. All it is. Yeah,
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of
Instagram fun.
I'm tired of the mixed messages and the game. What's going on?
Who doesn't like to see a Conor McGregor car or watch every once in a while?
I'm tired of it. Give me something. Let's talk.
I think this is more of something though than what we've been getting lately.
This is good, but
this is more of something.
Want more. I'm
with you
for more.
Come on the show, Nate.
Come on the show. Let's do it. We'll do a little chat.
Okay, we also saw somebody stepping more into the public eye. Chuck Liddell booked as a contestant for Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes.
I believe Ron Artest also on this season. Excited about that. You know how I feel about reality television. Although I have my love for the challenge. I have my specific niche there when it comes to that. I wish he was doing that show instead.
Yeah.
But Good for Chuck. I like this.
Chuck.
I like seeing Chuck, out there in the
I've never
public eye.
seen a single second of Big Brother or Celebrity Big Brother.
I have seen, I want to say one episode like 10 years ago of Big Brother. Wasn't really my thing. Didn't really do
The only
it.
time I saw it was when Ricky Gervais had that show. I think it was called Extras, and he was on the Celebrity Big Brother, and then he quit.
But wasn't that a fictional show?
Yeah, but that's the only time I actually saw.
Oh, okay.
Any variation of Celebrity Big Brother.
I'm with you. I don't know much about it. I don't know if she still is. I believe Julie Chen was the host of CBS, but good for you, Chuck. We go throwback. I don't typically post old stuff.
Yeah.
I don't typically post throwbacks, but Max Holloway posted this week. Picture of him, young Max Holloway, with the caption, blonde hair, don't care, second kickboxing match, hashtag Lil Evil, hashtag Throwback Thursday. I mean, the picture, if you're listening and not able to see it, go on Max Holloway's Twitter and see the picture of
Max Holloway does it right. Social
Slim
media, he
Shady
just
Max Holloway.
does it right,
Yeah, he knows how to play the game for sure.
Yeah. I like Max.
Okay, this was talked about.
Oh, yes.
But now we're going to show it.
Yes, there it is. Boom.
Lomachenko getting his grappling on with the caption, if not, he's asking another boxer if he's willing to fight him at 135, and then saying, if not, he'll go win a belt in the UFC while he's waiting.
Beast. He also did this thing where he like dunked in cold water. Scary stuff.
Freak athlete.
Yeah.
Incredible reflexes.
Boom. Boom. Look at that.
Roy Jones Jr. today on the show mentioning him as one of the ones to watch, obviously.
Yeah. Look at that. Boom.
I imagine if he took it seriously, he could probably do quite well. And I'm not even talking about MMA. I think just grappling, he would probably be fantastic. Okay. Picture with no caption, but I think the picture itself says it all.
Look at those pecs.
Let me describe for you.
Look at that
Got
bod.
a shirtless Sage Northcutt sitting on the back. I'm guessing like in the cab of a Ford truck, on the phone with somebody. Don't know what. Don't know who he's
F's to
calling,
give.
But
What a G.
this is
The real deal.
what I want out of my
Super
Sage Northcutt.
Look at that. A little edge.
But I would also say that last week spurred the idea of Sage Northcutt being on a reality show, and I would.
Yeah, I know. You're still buzzing about that one.
I want that to happen very badly. Look, maybe Celebrity Big Brother comes calling. Maybe the challenge comes calling. I want to see Super Sage do the reality show circuit. Okay. Paige Vanzant getting engaged.
Mazel tov.
Her fiance down on one knee. And of course she said yes. Congratulations to Paige on her engagement.
Would be nice if, she came on the show and I could say it to her in person. I heard she was sick last week, so. Austin Vanderford, fellow MMA
Yes,
fighter.
also a fighter.
Yes. Mazel tov to the young couple. Very young. How old is Paige?
Was she 24?
I don't know about that.
Is that too young?
1994, so 23. Turning 24 in March. All right.
Oh, you gave me
Not 24 yet.
crap. That's
I don't know if
come
she's
on.
24 yet. She's a young buck. 24. Although I got engaged when I was 25. So no, not that.
Okay, so this whole thing of like
Yeah.
you look, this
she's
is life.
young. I don't know. For some reason, I still picture her like 19. She's grown up so
She's still got
fast.
so much spirit.
Yeah.
She doesn't face the crushing realities of
Life.
Of
the
life.
hardships. Well, I wish her the best and him the best. Well done.
Congratulations.
Way
to
to
the
get
happy
it done,
couple.
Austin.
Austin?
Is it Austin? What's his name? The guy's name?
It is.
Oh, it is. Okay.
But I was looking at our Austin.
Yeah. Well, way to get it done as well.
Last thing here, our friend Secret Moves MMA, Justin. Last week I featured a comic. This week I'm featuring his comic.
Oh.
He did a comic featuring Darren Elkins. I find it interesting that these MMA comics follow one subject. They follow one person. Last week it was Chuck Liddell. This week it's Darren Elkins. Maybe an overall MMA comic. I don't know. Maybe that exists also.
Hey, you got to follow
Send
one
it to
guy.
me. No, I feel like that's too.
There was a comic.
narrow.
My friend,
That's right. The Cage Heroes.
No. There was Cage Hero, but there was another one. We used to have it on the desk. I'm trying to blank what it was called. A friend of mine who was on G4, Blair, wrote it. Anyway, there are some MMA comics.
I need a contemporary one.
Yeah. I don't know if you're
Maybe Justin can do it. Maybe our artist from last week.
I mean, it's pretty damn contemporary. It was like 2 years ago. Maybe 3.
No, 2 years ago. I don't think so. Maybe.
Are you a big comic guy?
I follow the culture. It's actually kind of like wrestling for me. I follow a lot of the culture. I try to keep up with the news and the things like that, but don't actually consume the product myself too much.
Ah, yes.
I'm more fascinated by the culture and try to immerse myself in that than necessarily like sitting there and opening page to page the comic. Same way I wouldn't like sit there and watch like a wrestling thing, but every podcast or every news article about it, I'll consume it. Very similar with the comics.
Blair Butler, formerly of G4, had a comic series called Heart about an MMA fighter, and it was a good comic. Let's check it.
Shout out to him.
No, Blair Butler. She's a girl.
Shout out to her. What, Blair can't be a guy's name?
What else we have? What else?
That's it for Rick's picks.
Okay, let's go rapid fire here. We don't got all night, all right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Keeping me here forever.
I mean, look, I thought you'd be excited. We just had a great show.
We did have a great show. We broke our streak 2 in a row where we had no shows, and I tried to fight, the bad juju with adding more guests as the show went on, just to fight.
Yeah, that was the way to do it for sure. That was less risk.
Velasquez,
Yeah, the notoriously difficult guest to get. Let's just throw him in wild card.
Every week I try to top myself.
I feel like on paper this one was already next level,
400-esque,
and now we added in Kevin Lee, lightweight contender, and Cain Velasquez, former heavyweight champion. I mean,
yeah.
This ain't your daddy's MMA show.
No.
This is the real deal. Okay. Question of the day. We start every week with this. How interested are you in Ronda Rousey's WWE career?
Yeah. Very telling.
The options were very, a little, and not at all. And with nearly 25,000 votes, 66% saying not at all, 20% a little, 14% very interested.
I've told you why.
66% not interested.
Yeah. I think a lot of that is 24,000 people. I think a lot of that is people trying to like take a stand and trying to say, I don't care, but you really kind of care, but you don't want to admit that you care. But I do think that there is something to the idea that a lot of MMA fans, at least right now, will not follow her until she kind of says goodbye or addresses what happened, addresses the losses. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like that's really important. I feel like that there's a disconnect between the MMA fans and Ronda Rousey. And I do think she's trying to put on a happy face and go out of her way and be happy. And I think she is happy. But I also think that the way she left wasn't the best.
To play devil's advocate.
It wasn't done the best way.
To play devil's advocate.
Yes.
Is that tension? Is that feeling of not having closure working in her favor?
No.
I would argue actually the very opposite and say that is her best asset.
No.
People want to see her fail on this stage at this point because they're not happy with how it went.
She can't. I mean, of course she could fail, but it's not like we're like, oh, she's going to get her head knocked off by Stephanie McMahon. So like, yeah, the only way she fails is if she embarrasses herself. And I don't think anyone's rooting for her to embarrass herself and look like a fish out of water.
No, but maybe not be successful in this run or maybe comes back to MMA. I don't know what that feeling is because I don't personally...
Look, I talk about the word emotional attachment a lot, and I feel like people, especially in fight sports, they want that emotional attachment. They want to feel like they're a part of the journey with the fighter.
So you feel like they're detached?
Yes.
I feel like they're more attached.
No, they're detached. They want to feel like they're a part of the journey. And you know what happened? Along the way, she said, I'm getting off here. Or she said, you're getting off here. Someone got off. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Again, I keep talking about these people, but like Cormier brings you on the journey. And I honestly think that that's why people love him so much. Conor, for better or worse, brings you on the journey. The way he speaks, the interviews, the ride, he brings you on the journey. Other fighters do that as well. Faber brought you on the journey. Like there's a connection there. You can't disconnect from the fans who made you into the star that you are today. You can't do that. And there are going to be fans who are going to be there regardless. But I think along the way, a lot of fans jumped off because they were kind of forced to jump off. Like you just disappeared. And I don't know if a lot of those fans are going to follow. And I do agree with Meltzer. She would be the biggest female star if she just handled those losses differently. Be very clear. I'm not knocking her for losing. We all lose at everything that we do. We all fail. Like no one expected her to go undefeated. I know she thought she would. No one expected her. Everyone loses. The greatest ever. No one has retired undefeated in MMA of note, right?
Yeah.
It was just different the way she handled it. And I think it was hard to properly say goodbye to her. And it was hard to really feel a connection to her because she didn't allow us to feel a connection. She didn't allow us to feel emotional towards her because she just never showed up.
I may be alone. Maybe I'm not vocalizing what I'm saying properly. I may be alone in this. I don't think I am, though, in saying that if she had said, yeah, those losses sucked. Sorry. I should have handled it better. I'm now going on to wrestling.
Yeah.
I would be less interested in her path in wrestling.
No.
This is what's keeping me interested.
She can't speak.
Because she hasn't addressed it yet. That is...
Wait, so
I feel like that's an unanswered thing. I'm seeking the closure, so I am continuing that.
You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. She gets asked about the fight, and she can't answer a question about it, and that makes you want to see her wrestle more?
Not necessarily. It makes me want to keep tabs on her more.
Crazy.
Maybe she will address it. Maybe.
The devil's out. What do you mean maybe? It's been 2.5 years. I mean, I'm hoping before, we're all done here, we will get some sort of reflection. Like, it's not like I'm staying up at night and saying, I wonder what Ronda thinks about her loss to Holly Holm. At this point, we've heard from all the particulars. Holly has lost 3 times since. You know what I mean? And she's still trucking. It's not because I want to figure out from her perspective why she lost these fights. We know why she lost the fights. I just think it's a mistake. Like if I was trying to guide her, right? If she hired me to guide her as her manager, I would say, look, let's just address it. Whether it's on SNL, whether it's on ESPN, whether it's on a podcast, whether it's on talk about it. Talk about what happened and moved on. But you can't just pretend it didn't happen, and you can't just brush it aside, and you can't just, say I'm a wounded animal still. Like, I just don't think people can relate to that in 2018 when we're all going through crap. And we all have to, address it in our own way. And look, you're a public figure, so we want to see you address these things in a public way. Yeah, I'm sure she's addressed it privately with her husband and her loved ones, but it's just sort of unprecedented, really. I mean, do you recall any other situation in sports where someone, like Chris Webber faced the music? I just saw.
Oh yes, but years. It took years for that.
I just saw a 30 for 30 on the Bills. I watched it again, and Scott Norwood, who went, I'm sorry, Austin, went wide right, I think it was, against the Giants. That guy faced the music for 30 minutes after the game.
Okay.
After the game.
But you brought up Chris Webber. Chris Webber notoriously waited too long to talk about it.
The point is, you speak about it. I don't remember the particulars about when Chris Webber spoke for the first time. Neither do you. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was, he wouldn't participate in the ESPN film that they did.
That's because they stripped him all the wins. It's not because of the timeout. He's talked about the timeout. I know he has.
Yeah, he has.
But it's because of what happened with Michigan. It was because of what happened with Michigan. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. People talk. And I think that people want to hear from her. And I think...
Definitely.
I think it would behoove her to speak because I think people would be like, all right, let's get back on it. Let's do this wrestling thing. Let's kick some ass. And I think that that's why you're seeing that number. That's my 2 cents.
That's fair enough. Question of the day number 2: Should the UFC book 3 champ versus champ fights? Miocic versus Cormier, DJ versus TJ, and Cyborg versus Nunes on the July 7th pay-per-view.
Let's be clear about this. Miocic Cormier is done. DJ versus TJ is trending in that direction. Cyborg's trying to get on that one, but it has been bandied about. They need a pay-per-view headliner for the May show in Rio. Cyborg Nunes makes all the sense in the world. I think 2 champ versus champ fights would be enough. I think 3 is awesome for July 7th, but what does it do on July 8th? And I think the problem is you're holding up 6 divisions. And someone said to me, well, you're not holding up 6 divisions. You're only defending 3 titles. But you have to consider the fact that those champions aren't, available leading up to July 7th. And then 6 divisions are now on ice after July 7th because those belts, whether or not they're being defended or not, their champions are still being represented.
Somebody said that?
Yeah, someone said that to me.
That doesn't make any
I know, I
sense.
couldn't
There's
believe.
6 champions in the fight just because their belts
Yeah.
are not on the line. Huh?
Yeah, and guess what? It was a very smart guy, someone who you know, but I won't. I will spare him his name. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like
My brain
like
is
if
like
DJ
mush.
if DJ beats TJ and TJ goes back to 135, he's not fighting on July 8th.
Yeah, he
or
doesn't
9th.
just jump in the cage.
Yeah,
He's preparing for as if it was a championship fight for him, except it's not his belt on the line. Anyway, that's just completely weird. Anyway, 18,000 people voted. 81% say yes, please, why not? 19% saying no thanks, too risky. So people want to see the novelty.
yeah. You know
of the
why?
3
I'm not surprised
the
about
3
that
title
number.
belts.
You know why? Because they don't have to worry about the future of the UFC.
Sure.
They just want a fun night. I
Gimme,
worry
gimme,
about.
gimme, gimme, gimme,
Yeah.
gimme, gimme.
I
gimme.
worry about the UFC. I care about the UFC. I'm the only one who cares about the UFC. I care about the future of the company, the health of the company. I think it would be a mistake. I think 2 you can get away with. Still kind of tricky, but I think you could get away with it. I think 3 would be a mistake. I think Cyborg Nunes should probably be in Rio. And DJ TJ, let the 2 smallest guys go with the 2 biggest guys. And it's kind of cool, right?
I like it.
You only need 2.
Maybe chicken fighting?
No. 3 is overkill, in my opinion. But it's all about the TV deal. It's all about being a hot property. It's all about being a buzz topic, headlines, all that stuff. But I do think that's enough. I think 2 is enough. Cyborg Nunes in Rio is what I would do.
Okay, I want 5 words or less.
Okay.
Do we think we will ever see Nick Diaz back in the octagon?
Oh, again with this question. Every week this question. I don't want to close the book on Nick Diaz. I do think it's a long shot to see him in the UFC. Does he show up at some point in some like weird, Stockton War MMA 4 or whatever it is? Maybe. I'm not going to close the book, but UFC at this point seems like a long shot. He just doesn't seem interested.
Were you surprised that Shayna Baszler didn't make an appearance during that broadcast?
I don't understand. I don't follow it, day to day. So I guess she's still in NXT, I was told. But I mean, that seemed like a better platform to debut her, or at least give her a cameo. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Maven who won Tough Enough and showed up and he drop kicked Undertaker and people went nuts and it was crazy. And it kind of like,
I mean,
put him somewhere. So like, why not have her debut there as opposed to one of the older people, Like, did we really need Jacqueline there?
Hey, wait a minute.
That's my wife, my beautiful wife. No, I mean Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie.
I know.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit surprised. I mean, isn't that like the whole thing? I remember we were kind of talking about this forever ago on Rick's Picks. I featured like the 4 horsewomen of the WWE versus the 4 horsewomen of the UFC, or MMA rather. I feel like she's tied to this story.
Yeah.
She's making her
No. I think it's good to keep her separate. I really do. But she's one of their blue chip prospects, I think. And
so you're saying she should have appeared on that night, maybe not related to Ronda.
No. Keep her away from Ronda. Let her have her own journey. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Let her have her own journey.
And
but
then
she should have
they
just
meet.
been in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Ronda has to have her own thing right now.
Will the NFL recognize the XFL like the UFC recognizes their competitor?
They do?
I think the point, the
Sarcastic?
sarcastically saying that they don't at all. Will the NFL talk about the XFL?
Let me tell you something. I am all in on the XFL. I think that was one of the weirdest press conferences I've seen.
Wait. What do you mean by all in?
I'm interested.
What's the?
I was a huge XFL fan. I used to have watch parties at my house. First show, I had a watch party.
So you're
Las
the
Vegas.
one, huh?
I had the gear. I had a Chicago Enforcers shirt. I mean,
Why Chicago Enforcers?
I don't know. It was a cool logo. I watched it. I watched it all. Like the 30 for 30. I watched all those games. The second week when it went into overtime and it went into SNL. I was all in.
The Chicago Enforcers played the Buffalo Bills.
No, let's not get crazy. But I watched the $1 Million Game. I used to watch San Francisco Demons, New York, New Jersey Hitmen, Orlando Rage.
Wow.
Las Vegas Outlaws.
This is a deep XFL.
LA, what was LA? It wasn't the Galaxy, but it was something like that.
No, that's the soccer.
Yeah. But anyway, I was all in. I think they're kind of like they're going too hard line on some of these things. Like if you've had a DUI, you can't be in our league. Like
what?
There's Johnny.
That's good.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel's like I want in, but he's had a DUI.
No,
and like they're going the opposite of the old XFL. Like no cheerleaders, no personality, things like that. I don't know if that's the way to go. I do think that there's somewhat of an appetite for another league, and especially when it's not going head to head with the NFL. But no, of course the NFL is not going to recognize them. What kind of question is that?
What if some guy got big? Like I remember what was the guy's
Tommy
name?
Maddox?
He hate me.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
he hate me. Rod Smart
Yeah.
got to the like, would you talk about it? Would you say this guy's from the XFL? I think it'll be interesting to kind of see how they handle it.
They talked about it. They talked about when Tommy Maddox came over. The best part of that press conference was when someone asked Vince, "Did you talk about this with your wife, Linda?" And he just like had this look and he said, "No," and that was it.
Okay,
gotta love Vince.
Is Roberta's the best pizza in New York City?
The one in Brooklyn?
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Bushwick.
Yeah. Fantastic. I don't know if I could go best because like
it's hard to pick a best slice. You kind of have personal preferences. You have proximity.
Yeah, but that is a phenomenal pizza. In particular, the pineapple, they go thin slices, not like chunks. I love pineapple on my pizza.
So you're saying Roberta's up there for sure.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
There you go. Okay.
High praise.
What city would you like to see the UFC come to for the first time?
Oh. Well.
Mine's easy.
Can I go state?
Sure.
Hawaii.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
Honolulu, anywhere. Like,
no other city has been talked about this much, you know?
Yeah.
That's the one.
It's for sure Hawaii.
By the way, I hear that they're going back to Atlantic City and Utica. How about that?
Ariel, did anyone ever tell you that when you get angry, you sound a lot like Jerry Seinfeld?
Last week I was what's his name? Larry David.
It's definitely Seinfeld.
No, but you remember
the agitated Seinfeld.
Remember Chael said that I was like, how about that? That should have been in Rick's Picks. Josh Donaldson of the Toronto Blue Jays weighed in on it, on the tweet.
Huh? Who's that?
MVP. He was tweeting about the clip with Chael.
I'm just kidding. That's the bringer of rain,
yes,
right?
the man. Anyway, yes, I have been told that. I get excited. What can I say? Sometimes I lose.
Seinfeld-esque.
Yeah, I lose control of my voice.
Okay, we're not going to do this one. Sorry, Namdi. We had one of those quizzes queued up, but it's going to take too long.
Okay.
That's it.
What? That's it? That's what you're going to end it on?
Look, you want to do a quiz? It's going to take forever. Though.
What do you mean a quiz? What are you talking about? We never had a quiz.
Remember the event? You have to name the headliner. You have to
just give me one. Just give me one.
Okay, we'll give you one.
Just one.
We'll end on one. Namdi, you're back in the game.
Yeah, where you been, Namdi?
No. He's been asking.
Oh, okay.
UFC 138. Who is it?
138 is an interesting one because we're
gonna stretch this out here. I mean, come on. You say give me one, and we're gonna do 2 hours.
Oh wow! Look at all this. This is what he wanted to do.
Well, I don't know if he knew there was gonna be 15 guests on the show when he asked this question.
Wow, 187, 80.
Oh my God!
By
Ariel.
the way, 83 is the easiest one ever. That's Montreal.
What about 138?
Okay, obviously, what I wanted to tell you was 139 was one of the greatest pay-per-views ever because it was Dan Henderson versus Shogun in the main event the same night as
Thank you for
Eddie
that.
Alvarez.
Now,
137 was BJ Penn versus Nick Diaz. 138 though was the great Mark Munoz versus Chris Lieben, and I believe that was a Spike show, and it was in.
Austin, can you bring this down so that we can see Ariel on Wikipedia right now?
No, look, I'm right here.
I'm skeptical.
You're skeptical. All right. Be skeptical all you want.
Well done. Oh, what was the co-main?
Oh, no. I can't do that.
Any other fight on the card? It's the way it's gone in the past is headliner and another fight. Do you remember anything else that happened on it?
It wasn't Spike. It was.
That's good. I mean, you did great. UFC 187, wasn't that like a super easy one, or is that? What am I thinking of? 189? Which was the huge card? The one with all the great fights.
187 was DC versus Rumble 1 and Weidman versus Belfort.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of 189.
Was Conor versus Chad Mendez.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of 189. Well, Namdi, we did a half version.
Namdi, keep trying, bud. Keep trying. Look at this thing.
Thank you to Plastic Cell. Whoa.
Yes, I love it.
Did that just happen?
Can't wait to show this to my kids. They're going to love this. What are you talking about? Ooh. Beautiful. Thank you very much. What a show it has been. One of the all-time greats. New York Rick, everyone in the back, God bless. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Austin, please hit my music. We have to go. We don't have to go home, but I tell you what, we got to get the heck out of here. We've stayed far too long, but I tell you I could do 5 more hours, 6 more hours. There it is. There's my shot. What a day it has been. And by the way, the UFC train continues to roll along this weekend. They're in Belém. I've been practicing all day with Guilherme. It's Belém. Belém. And it's our man, Eric Anders. Ya boy. Eric Anders against Lyoto Machida. John Dodson versus Pedro Munoz. Desmond Green. Thiago Santos against Anthony Smith, and a whole host of others. That's this Saturday. That's on FS1. Congratulations to Jacare Souza. Great return. Gregor Gillespie, by the way, New York's own. Would love to have him in studio. Talk a little fishing with him. You know what I'm saying? That would be fun. But alas, it is time to say goodbye, my friends. What a show it has been. A who's who. Thank you so much to Daniel Cormier for stopping by. Good luck to him on July 7th. And of course, on the upcoming season of The Ultimate Fighter. Thank you very much to Eddie Alvarez. Great stuff from him. We'll see what happens with the Nate Diaz sweepstakes. Thank you very much to Paul Daly. Interesting stuff there. We'll see what happens with him as well. I appreciate his time. All the best to Roy Jones Jr. Retirement fight February 8th. Thank you very much to him. Thank you very much to Stipe Miocic. Good luck July 7th, tough as well. All the best to Marshall Zalaznik. Appreciate his time. Congrats to Ally Quinta. Good luck on April 7th. Thank you very much to Matt Brown. Good luck to him April 14th. Thank you very much to Cain Velasquez. Thank you very much to Douglas Lima. Appreciate the time of one Max Holloway. Good luck to him. Kevin Lee, thank you very much. And of course, thank you to Dave Meltzer. And thank you to all of you as well. Back next week, same time and place. Peace. Somebody.